Manic Expression proudly presents Podcast Play with music by Les, announced by Alex DeCorville. Tonight's presentation, The Confession of Danny Audway, written and edited by Mark Nicholson. Podcast plays are brought to you by Manic Expression's Cafe Press Shop. If you can find a better deal, seriously, let us know.
Steeped in raw, primal emotion, author James Daniel Walsh explores the natural and supernatural human experience in his 3-volume anthology, Manic Expression. This collection of short stories weaves a tapestry of adventure, romance, comedy, drama, horror, and social commentary. The Pacific Coast city of Long Beach, California is the backdrop for these 34 stories, which, when read together, become an epic saga of families, friends, lovers, murderers, monsters, and gods. Manic Expression, a collection, is now available right here at the Manic Expression web store. And now, The Confession of Danny Audway by Mark Nicholson.
Okay, fellers, you couldn't have got far. Keep your eyes open and your fingers near the trigger, and your sights on the boy.
Hello there! What are you boys doing over there?
Belong, mister. This here's official posse hunting down a villainous murderer who gunned down a fine man in the prime of his life. This ain't none of your business. As I said, move along.
Oh, I think I have an interest in this.
I don't care. Whatever it is, I'm a duly authorized lawman, and these are my deputized posse who are illegal to be here. Just who are you?
Well, when you ask so politely, I'm United States Marshal James Richard Miller, and the boy you are after is wanted in connection with a series of bank robberies by the Blanchard gang.
That don't matter. I'm Sheriff Bull Collin, and this boy is wanted in connection with murder, which is a lot worse than some bank robbing last I checked. Why don't you head back into town just over the hill, Marshal? We will let you know when we bring in this criminal youth.
Danny Audway.
What?
His name is Danny Audway. He has been a lookout for the Blanchard gang during their last few years of thieving and whatnot. There have been murders in these crimes, which makes Audway culpable. When we raided the Blanchard hideout yesterday morning, he was supposed to be a lookout but took off running when he saw the size of our posse. We got the rest, and I just didn't feel right until I got this last man.
I don't care what he did halfway across the state. He shot Sam Tipton, the porter at our railroad station, which makes him my man.
Well, we can work that out. We have to catch him first. My understanding in town was that the crime took place 3 hours ago, and we are barely 2 miles from town.
That damn kid kept backtracking on us. Made him hard to follow. We stayed on him, and I shot his horse.
You shot his horse. I think you would have shot him.
Well, I may have been a little off my aim, but it should be easy to catch now.
How did you not catch him then? He was afoot, and the 5 of you have horses.
He scruffled off to the riverbed and into them trees. We lost sight of him for a moment, but he couldn't have got far.
So, in 3 hours, you have lost the boy several times, shot his horse instead of him, and lost him without his horse. I don't think I'll be heading back into town. No, it seems like an extra gun and a set of eyes might do you boys some good. And if you have your doubts about that, I'll point out that my federal authority outranks your county office.
I won't be bullied. Miller, you may be a big muckety back where you're from, but this is my territory. Go back to town.
And what will you do when you hit the county line just a few miles down the river?
What?
You can't cross the county border. It is out of your jurisdiction. However, if you have a U.S. Marshal with you, I can deputize you and keep the chase up.
I see. That makes sense. I guess you can come along. But don't get in my way.
No problem there, Sheriff. I'm not a horse.
There's something something rustling down on the river there.
Well, those are just the birds he stirred up. The boy's running up the bank toward that little mission right now.
Damn it! Get on it, boys. Catch him before he holds up in that church.
Good luck covering that half mile before he covers that 10 feet. I'll be up after I water my horse a bit.
Let me in! Let me in this church!
What is all this noise? What are you doing, young man?
I need to come in now, priest! I have men hot on my trail!
Well, anyone is welcome in the house of the Lord, but you cannot bring those weapons in here.
I won't give up my guns. Those lawmen will gun me down. I don't have time to talk this over!
All right, son, all right. Come in. I will give you sanctuary, but you must leave your weapons with me.
Fine! What is sanctuary?
It is a protection in a holy place such as this old church from illegal or any other pursuer. I cannot guarantee your stay here forever or that they will recognize it, but I will try and work this out peaceably. In the meantime, my name is Father Paul Betts. What is yours? And why are those determined-looking men after you?
Name's Danny Audway, and they think I committed a murder this morning.
Oh my, well, what did you?
Open this door and send the crook out.
Hello, Sheriff Callan. We have never been formally introduced. My name is Father Paul Betts.
Cut out the niches. Just send the bastard out. Now.
Well, I am sorry, Sheriff, but the young man has claimed sanctuary. I can't do that.
Then we will come in.
Well, not with those weapons, you won't. And certainly not to get this boy.
We saw him come in with his gun.
Which I have taken from him. So there will be no shooting on holy ground.
I ain't Catholic, Padre. We're coming through.
Well, I won't let you.
Let's see you stop me.
What is going on here, Sheriff Callan? You seem mighty aggressive towards that priest. My apologies, Father. What is your name, sir?
Paul Betts, Father Paul Betts. And Sheriff Callan is attempting to violate young Danny's right to sanctuary. Well, perhaps you could reason with him, Marshal...
James Richard Miller. Sheriff Callan, are you seriously threatening a man with the cloth?
My prisoner is in there.
Well, I know, but there's a precedence for civilized people here. I know this is going to be difficult for you, but we have to respect it.
What?
We can't go barging into a church. The boy can't go anywhere, and this place is fairly isolated, so I'm guessing we can wait him out. Father Betts, would you please attempt to reason with the boy into a peaceful surrender? He's in enough trouble as it is.
Oh, I will do my best.
Just what the hell are we gonna do while that damn priest talks him out?
Oh, Sheriff, you shouldn't cuss a priest, whether you're Catholic or not. I have an idea.
What are you gonna do with that book?
Oh, I'm going to read it. We have some time, and I just picked this up. Mark Twain's The Innocents Abroad. It sounded very interesting.
This is the stupidest, most convoluted thing I've ever put up with in my entire life.
Okay, Danny. I managed to buy us some time. I am going to insist you hand your pistol and rifle over to me. I told the lawmen that this was already done, so I would hate to be made a liar.
Okay, Father Betts. But I get them back the instant I want them. Is there a back way out of this place?
Please, Danny. I have always preferred Father Paul. I like the saintly quality of it. No, there is no back way out. This church was built to also be a defensive position in an emergency. The large front door is it. Unless you can fly, then you could escape out of the bell tower.
Well, I sure as hell can't fly. I need to think a way past those law dogs. Maybe tonight when they go to sleep, I can slip past in the dark.
Well, that may be difficult. The moon is large tonight, and it has been clear as of late.
Father Paul, I sure ain't running out into those men without cover. I heard stories about that Marshall Miller. He's a Civil War vet and a crackshot. I know the Blancher boys didn't fare too well when he came down on their hideout with those other marshals.
Well, I was just about to have something to eat. Would you join me, Danny? Perhaps we can talk it over.
Say we hang him the instant he comes out.
Nope.
Why not? 3 witnesses saw him shoot Sam when he went to hand over the tailbox at the station. He was just watching it for a clerk for a few minutes. Why bother the taxpayers with a judge and jury when we have all that? Besides, Sam was a good man.
I am not making any judgment on the porter or anyone else. In fact, lawmen never make judgment. That is why we will take Danny back to town.
This is my county, Marshal Miller. I think I need to show you that. I'll kill you for that.
Now listen to me, you backwater excuse for a lawman. If you come at me again, you are the one who won't leave this place.
I have 4 more men that says that ain't a good idea.
I am here to tell you that won't matter a lick for you, since I'll put a bullet in your head first and see which one of your brave posses willing to make a stand, because I will fall as many as I can before they get the better of me. I didn't survive nearly 4 years of war to be killed by some dirt-eating morons.
Marshal, I'm just a bit, frustrated. There's no need for this violence. The boy can't stay in there forever. When he comes out, we'll arrest him and take him to town.
Well, good. I think I will enjoy my book some more. I was really starting to delve in when you interrupted me. That is a very rude habit, Sheriff Callan.
Sorry about that. It won't happen again.
I know the fare is a bit meager, but I hope you enjoyed the food, Danny.
Yeah, thanks, Father Paul. I hadn't eaten since yesterday, so it was really good.
Perhaps we could talk about how you came here, Danny. I would even be willing to hear confession if you wish.
I ain't Catholic, Father. In fact, I ain't even religious.
Well, no one is perfect, but nevertheless, I would still be willing to hear anything you have on your mind.
That's a laugh.
Well, I guess I fail to see the humor. What is so amusing?
Do you know how old I was when I committed my first crime?
I don't even know how old you are now.
I'm 22. I was 13 when I stole some bread and meat from a store. I was starving. That fat storekeeper was easy to fool, though. I just had to start a small fire outside his front door, sneak in when he ran out, and make off with the stuff out the back.
You could have burned the man's store down. Where were your parents?
Hell if I know. I was 3 when Pa abandoned my ma after we came over to America, and she did the same for me when I was about 9 and too much a burden. She just dropped me in that crappy little town. So I guess the Audways are good at taking what they can get and running.
But was there no charity to help you in your time of need?
Some folks will give me some handouts now and then, a little work here and there, but the only way anyone would give me a home was on their terms. I had to go to school and obey rules. I just weren't cut out for that.
Danny, that seems to be a very foolish choice you made. If you would have accepted the help of others, you may have gotten an education and would not have had to steal from that store. That is a sin, my son, whether you are hungry or not.
You weren't there, Father Paul. You didn't have to bow down to those people for a meal just because you had the bad luck of being born to peaceful parents. I did what I had to do to survive on my terms. It ain't any more my fault than it was my ma's. She was the one who left me. Don't blame me, Father.
Well, by your own admission, you had other options. Your pride can cost you everything if you do not compromise a little. The theft cannot be justified so easily.
You know, you would get along with the town marshal who found out I stole from the store. He took me out in front of the whole town and gave me 5 licks with his belt. I didn't shed one tear, though. That fat bastard was trying to sew me up. Well, I sewed him.
Well, the town marshal sounds as though he acted a bit harshly in response. He wasn't right, but neither were you, Danny. Well, surely you can see that stealing the food was wrong.
I guess I don't. I have to eat.
But there were other avenues. You didn't have to commit yourself to a life of sin.
Sin? Who would care?
Well, the Almighty, of course.
There's the laugh. If there is an Almighty, he stopped caring about what I was doing a long time ago. My teething ways were justified by the feelings in my belly, and no imaginary man in the sky was filling it up.
My son.
I'm not your son. I am my own man and beholden to no one. The law may not appreciate it, but that is who I am.
Very well. But what about the man they say you killed this morning?
Drop it. What about you, Father Paul? When was the first time you sinned?
Oh. Probably before I can adequately remember it. I do recall throwing rocks at the neighbor's goat and getting in considerable trouble.
Wow, the neighbor's goat. You truly were the evil type, Father Paul. I think I can do better than a goat. When I was 16, I robbed a bank.
You robbed a bank at 16?
Yeah, it was a genius plan on my part. You see, there was a whore in town that I favor, but she wouldn't lay with me because I didn't have no cash and was too young. So, I figured if I had the money, Sally couldn't say no.
Oh my, so you stole money in order to lay with a prostitute?
Yeah, it ain't quite sucking rocks at a goat, is it, Father?
Perhaps no, but they were both wrong. How does a 16-year-old go about robbing a bank?
It was surprisingly easy. You see, the town bank had this real dumb clerk who was really easy to get talking about himself or something else stupid. I just waited until the bank was real empty and I mostly had him there. I started talking him up about whatever, I really didn't listen. He had this pocket watch he was real proud of. I convinced him to let me come around the counter and get a proper look at it. While I was back there, I knocked something off the counter, and when the idiot bent down to pick it up, I stuck my hand in his straw and pulled out all I wanted. I got out there with $150! The next day I heard that fool got fired for taking money, I got my trim, and no one was the wiser. You're the only second person who has heard about my stroke of brilliance.
And who was the first?
Frank Blancher. I use it as a way of warming up to his gang. Listen, Father, do you mind if I have a nap? I really haven't slept in more than a day.
Very well. Have a nap. We have time to work this out.
Marshal Miller, I know you're reading. Do you mind if I have some words with you?
Well, thank you for asking so politely, Sheriff Kellen. What is on your mind?
Well, I want to sort of apologize for the earlier incident. I'm just a little out of sorts, as you see. Sam was a good friend of mine. His wife and I have big ties and whatnot. And our kids play together, you see. It ain't really an excuse, it's just that.
Did you ever fight in the war, Bull?
Well, I was in, out here, you know. There weren't exactly a lot of Johnny Rebs out here. Fought Indians a few times, but what does that have to do with anything?
Oh, nothing. I'm just letting you know I understand. Losing someone close can put you on edge a bit. I tell you what, I'm going to talk to Father Betts again and see if I can expedite matters.
What?
Hurry things along.
Oh. Well, good luck with that.
Hello, Father Betts.
Please, Marshal, call me Father Paul. I prefer it.
Very well, Father Paul. Feel free to call me JR if you want to be informal. How are negotiations going to bring the boy out peacefully?
Well, not as well as I would like. He seems to believe none of his crimes are of his own doing. I will continue to try to bring this to a peaceful end.
Who are you talking to, Father Paul?
The United States Marshal, Danny. He was just curious about our situation.
Well, he can piss off. I got me some sanctuary.
The word is sanctuary, and I just want to know that everything is okay. You don't exactly have a sterling reputation, young Danny Audway.
My reputation is just what I want it to be. Everyone thinks twice about messing with me. That goes for that fool railroad porter too.
If I were you, I wouldn't rest my hat on killing an unarmed man with a wife and kids. These other boys out here were friends with that man, and if you think they will give up, I don't think you appreciate how upset they are you killed their friend.
He had a family?
Yes. I know you've never gone this far before. Just come out here. I'll escort you back to the capital. I know you can't get a fair trial here, and I can't guarantee this won't end in the hangman's noose. You were hooked up those Blanchard boys, and they have plenty of blood on their hands as well. I can only say that I'll do what I can to get you a fair trial.
Well, Marshal Miller, you know where you can solve that fair trial. I think I will look for a better deal.
Father Paul, there is no better deal for that boy. He needs to surrender.
Well, JR, I will see what I can do. Surely you must see, Danny. This cannot end well. Why don't we talk about Sam Tipton's death?
Oh, was he a friend of yours too, Father?
Yes, I knew Sam. He was a good man and made special trips out here to bring mail for the church. He pointed many wary travelers to my door for refuge, and those of this faith who wished to confess or have a service. He had been the station porter for some years, and he was a very respectable citizen.
Well, I don't want to talk about it. Maybe I could tell you how I impressed old Frank Blanchard.
Very well. How did you impress Frank Blanchard?
I picked his pocket. I stole his wallet and returned it to him. I told him all about my daring bank robbery. Everyone knows Frank Blanchard and his gang. His two brothers and the gang of tough men he has collected over the years have terrorized this state for years. I wanted in. Blanchard told me a couple of his men got pinched a few months before, and he said he could use an extra lookout. So for 2 years I can say that I rode with the Blanchard gang. I was part of the big robbery on the Capital Central Bank. We took down any men in our way.
I see. If the gang was so powerful and terrorizing, how did they ever fall?
Well, after we robbed the big bank, the governor sent for a bulldog U.S. Marshal who just happens to be sitting outside right now. We had only heard about his coming about 4 days before he popped over the hill with 20 men. They weren't just any men either, they were all tough-looking types. I was made lookout at the bottleneck that led into our hideout. I saw that band coming, and I went over the hill. There were only 8 of us. I managed to look back in time to see that Posse killed 4 and averaged the other 3. Frank Blanchard was yelling all sorts of profanities at Miller. That old dog just stared him down. Then Miller turns to one of the men and says something. I got a bad feeling when I saw the Posse head back to town kept Miller, who started out toward me.
So, that U.S. Marshal has been following you for quite a ways. I doubt he will be giving up any time soon. So, my son, I think you have a real decision to make. That man will catch you. You don't get a reputation like the renowned J.R. Miller for doing nothing.
That is true. He will be terribly difficult to outfox.
Pretty much impossible. Let me ask you, Danny. In the time you rode with these men, did you ever harm anyone?
I put down a few lawmen who came looking for us.
Really?
Well, I may not have been the one to do the actual shooting, but I was around when some of the men did the deed. I could have done it.
And you did this morning?
That was different. It was just one of those things.
What happened at the train station this morning?
I said I don't want to talk about it.
Why not? You were too happy to ruin the storekeeper, the bank teller, and all the innocent people the Blanchards robbed. Why won't you tell me about killing Sam Tipton? What happened, Danny?
You got it all wrong! I didn't ruin anyone! Those people just had the bad luck of being in my way. I had to make a living somehow!
And there was no honest work you could do? You couldn't work for a farmer, or a miner, or anything that didn't take advantage of people? Why, Danny?
I believe I told you. My parents ruined me. My pa and ma made this fate for me when they destroyed my childhood. I had to do what I did to make it.
You didn't have to. Just because your parents weren't any good doesn't mean you had to be bad.
What do you know about it?
That's right. You are the only person who suffered a difficult childhood. I had parents, Danny, but my father beat me and my siblings. My mother was broken by him, as long as I can remember. It was as good as having no parents, Danny, but I never stole from anyone. I worked and I scraped. My eldest brother gave up nearly everything to ensure the rest of us got an education. He owns a hardware store now, because he knew how to work. He never stole. It would have been easy for him to turn away from us, or for us to turn away from him. But we took what little we could get. What makes you so different? Why did you have to shoot Sam?
Well, I didn't know.
This world is full of hardship, Danny. What happened this morning?
I just wanted the money from the tray. I saw him there. I put my gun on the porter. He looked at me. I was nervous. I don't usually put my gun on people.
Why did you shoot him?
I didn't mean to! I was standing there. He was getting the money. A train whistle blew. He was going for something. I guess it was just a habit. He reached for his watch. I thought it might be a gun or something. Maybe. I didn't know. I flinched. I wasn't even trying to pull the trigger. You look at me real sad. I ran away. I left the money. I just didn't know what happened.
Danny, I have noticed a pattern for you. You take advantage of others, but never see yourself as the cause of these things. Please. You shot Sam because you were scared. But realize that you are at fault, since you pointed a deadly weapon at another person. Take responsibility. Surrender to Marshal Miller. He will give you the best chance at a reasonable fate. Own up to what you have done. To not only Sam, but to the storekeeper, the clerk, and everyone the Blanchers ever hurt. Please.
I'm going to lay down for a bit. I'm still tired. I will.
Rest, Danny. But consider what I have said.
Got it.
Syphilis.
What? No. I mean, I figured a way to get Danny out.
Well, my eyes are getting a bit tired from these pages. I could use another form of entertainment, so I'd like to hear this idea.
I say we pretend like we're tired and we leave. Instead, we just go down to them trees by the river. When the kid comes out, we run them down and take them back to town for that fair trial you wanted.
You know, Sheriff Bull Callan, that is a halfway lucid idea. I just wonder what makes you think Danny will buy our disappearing act.
I know.
Well, the only cover around here is the river. When we don't pop out on the other side, don't you think he will notice?
And that is a point. I didn't consider that.
Don't worry about it. Say, can I ask you something?
Okay.
What is your first name? Surely your mama didn't name you Bull.
Well, no. My real first name is Lyle, but my pa never thought it fit. So we started calling me Bull far back as I can remember.
I see. You know, I think I may talk to that priest one more time. Father Paul!
Please, give me a little more time, J.R. I think I almost have him convinced to surrender to you. But I can't do that if you are crowding him. Just a bit more.
Okay, Father. Bull, keep thinking. We are still waiting.
Danny, how are you? Have you thought about what we talked about?
I have. You are right. I shouldn't shot that porter. I guess I could have handled it different. I ain't saying it's my entire fault. I guess I just realized that I should have been a bit more cautious with a gun in my hand. I screwed up this time and those fellers out there won't be in the forgiving mood.
No. No, they won't.
Where did you stick my guns?
They are near the door. Perhaps I could turn them over to the lawmen for you and negotiate your surrender.
I'm not surrendering. I'm going to catch them off guard and make a charge. I will scare them, split them, and steal a horse.
And kill more men. Haven't you done enough today? You've already left Sam Tipton's children to the fate you were left to. Who knows how this will affect their mother, and those kids will be without. Please, Danny, be reasonable.
Oh, I think I am. I'm sorry for the kids, but I guess that is life. It is hard for us all. This is how it has to end.
Alright, how about this? Get one of the boys to head back into town and grab some of that dynamite we have stored up.
Bull, are you suggesting we blow up a portion of the church?
Well, just a wall, maybe.
I don't even want to try this with guns. What makes you think explosives will be okay?
Look out, boys! I'm coming for you!
Good Lord, he's running out of guns blazing. Pull your pieces, boy! Oh, hell, Marshal Miller, that was a tremendous shot. I never even seen you pull up your Winchester. Yeah, I'm right between the eyes.
Yeah, well, he was firing down on us. I guess I had to.
Well, it was one hell of a shot. I'm even happier I didn't cross you.
No! No! Can't you see he was intentionally missing? He wanted you to kill. He wanted you to kill him. Can't you see? He did it on purpose. I should have seen it. I made him feel guilty about the murder and he just wanted to die. Why? Why did you do it? Couldn't you see? He wanted you to kill him. Couldn't you tell? Didn't you know that you did just what he wanted you to do?
Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, I knew. Give him a nice burial.
The Confession of Danny Audway starred Matamali as Danny Audway, James Daniel Walsh as Father Paul Betts, Mark Nicholson as U.S. Marshal James Richard Miller, Clancy Shriver as Sheriff Bull Callan. Stay tuned next time for plays from more of Manic Expression's talented members and find all their videos, blogs, and other creative endeavors at manicexpression.webs.com.